Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of More Than Athlete podcast. And today we have for you guys a very special episode coming with our very first guest, Mikey Keene, starting quarterback at UCF, alongside with my host, Eli Soap. And today we're just going to be talking a little bit about just stuff we were talking about in the first episode, NIL, all that stuff. And we're just going to get Mikey's perspective and his thoughts and his point of view, all this stuff. So I'm going to pass it over to Mikey and let him introduce himself.
What's up, guys? I'm Mikey Keene. Seth introduced me. I go to the University of Central Florida. I was friends with these two guys at Chandler High School. We played football there together. I've known Eli growing up since Mighty Might, I think. We played football since then. Our paths grew apart, and then we came back together for our 8th grade year and then high school. So I've been great friends with Eli my whole life. And then Seth, we were great friends in high school. I know during the COVID time, we would always hang out and play basketball and lift together and stuff. So Seth's doing awesome at NAU too. But just appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, Mikey. You know, Mikey is always the type of guy that'll humble himself always. But these stats here are crazy. I mean, your freshman year, Mike, you threw for 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns. Your true freshman year as a starting quarterback at UCF. But his high school stats, you know, we were high school teammates and everything. But his junior year, an undefeated state championship year, threw for 193 of 265 for a 72% completion percentage with over 2,800 yards and 23 touchdowns. Then his senior year comes back, does the same thing. We're 154 of 218 for a 70% completion percentage for
That's crazy.
2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns. I think only 2 interceptions that year. Is that correct, Mike?
I believe so. That was a very efficient year.
So I think I'm going to let Seth take away the first question.
So, guys, as you already heard Eli talk about, this man's story is incredible. I mean, he comes into UCF, has four QBs coming in front of him, and just in a matter of a year, look where he's at now. So my question for you, Mike, is what was your mindset going into college? Like, were you thinking, oh, I'm going to start? Did you just kind of worry about yourself? Or how did you even get really in the position you are now from fourth to first string?
No, yeah. Coming in, I was recruited. Well, our recruiting class had a tough year because we didn't get any visits due to COVID. So everyone had to commit without taking a visit. So me coming across from the country, it was a hard decision to make. But I was very confident in the staff that we had that was recruiting me, and I had a great relationship with everyone. And then at 2 weeks I get here, and then the entire staff leaves. So it's like I just made the biggest decision of my life, and I'm across the country, and then all the people that got me there, they just left. So I had to find it within myself to just keep fighting and understand whoever comes in, I'm gonna keep the same goals. We had a returning 2-year starter coming back, Dylan Gabriel. He's a great player. He's at Oklahoma now. A great friend of mine. I still talk to him. I was on the phone with him 2 nights ago. But he was the returning starter, so I wanted to come in and be the backup. I wanted to learn from him and then put myself in a situation to be able to play for my sophomore year. So coming into camp, spring ball, I was, I think, 5th string, and then I worked my way up to rotating with the 2s and 3s. And then when fall camp came around, I kind of took charge and established myself as that number 2 guy. And before I knew it, the season was here, and we were week 3, I believe, and at Louisville, in the last play of the game, Dylan goes down. It's a broken collarbone, so I'm up. It's my time now. So I didn't really have much time to process it, but it was a crazy flight coming back home, communicating with my family what the situation was. I obviously felt heartbroken for Dylan because he's a great friend of mine and was a great mentor to me. But it was my time to take the reins, and it was an opportunity that I had to take advantage of because not many quarterbacks at the college level get that opportunity to play, and especially as a true freshman, just having that experience is crucial. So it was a crazy scenario, but I'm blessed to be in the position that I am.
See, Mike, I just want to touch on a few bases now. So now you are the guy. I mean, you are the starter at the University of Central Florida, and I know you guys had a transfer come in from Ole Miss, Plumlee. I just want to hear your perspective now. How much do you think competition plays a big part into your game?
Competition is everything with this sport. Regardless of the level that it's going to be at, you're going to get competition regardless. And it just only raises at each level that you continue to go up. At the highest level at the NFL, there's guys coming in every year that are looking to take spots, and there's guys that are trying to defend their spots. So competition is bred within this game. It's bred within athletics all overall. So if you're not willing to compete in this sport, I think you're doing the wrong thing, honestly.
Yeah, it's very true.
Honestly, Mikey, I like what you're saying about how you were coming in trying to go under Dylan Gabriel's wing. How this competition, like you were always trying to beat out these other guys. So when it was your time to shine, you were there to step up, and like you did. I think you ended the season 6-3 from you starting, which is very great for coming as a true freshman and starting.
And
so I really like
and
that.
beat the University of Florida and beat the University. I think we just got to throw that out there.
Yes, can't forget that one.
And beat the University of Florida, man. That's crazy.
That game was crazy.
So on our last podcast, Mikey, we talked a lot about our NIL and UCF. I mean, you're a big name, starting quarterback at a big school, UCF. And they do a lot of stuff for you guys at NIL. Like you guys have like barcodes and stuff like that on the back for people to scan to get to your social media and all that. So how is all that NIL and how is everything that they're doing for you like affected you in your college career so far?
Right. When Coach Malzahn came in with this new staff, I mean, he tried to really emphasize that this new day and age of college football, they were going to take advantage of it with the name, image, and likeness. And so I have had a few opportunities to be able to take advantage of that and help me out with some opportunities. But it hasn't been too huge right now. It's still very new. Still getting used to all the unique things that can come from it. But I just like using my influence in a positive way when I can. So if there's deals that'll help out kids or something like that, I always love doing stuff with kids. I've done a camp with some of my teammates. Just helping out a bunch of little kids and just seeing their faces and stuff, just realizing that I was in their shoes one day and I was looking at other college players. So now that I'm in that position to help out these little kids and kind of inspire them, it's really cool to see. So that's the kind of unique opportunities that it provides, and it's super cool. And you can make some money, which is cool too in its own way.
Make a little money.
Yeah, exactly. But no, there's a lot of cool things that go with NIL, and it was in due time for college athletes to be able to benefit off their likeness and their image. And then there's the whole deal with the transfer portal and stuff and you guys see all the deals that are going on and stuff. But it's as of right now, it's legal, so there's no hate. I mean, I can't blame a high school kid getting offered $500,000. How would you be able to deny that? I mean, if someone offered you guys that money, how could you say no?
Exactly.
So it's like everything that comes with it. There's gonna be rules and stuff it's still in the first stages of it. So it's a very cool thing. I think they will make some guidelines with it, but yeah, I mean, UCF's a great place for it to happen too. Being in Orlando, there's so many unique opportunities out here, and just being able to take advantage of all of them is what I'm trying to do.
Oh, completely. And I mean, it's awesome to hear how the NIL has affected you in like a positive way and all that. I want to know, because like you said, it's fairly new. Like it's kind of just happened, just pretty recently. So how do you think this is going to affect like college sports and the game? Because like you said, how could you have a kid deny $500,000 to go to a school when maybe at Ohio State they offer him $500K, but Alabama offers him like I don't know $150. But Alabama has more of like his education program.
Right.
Is he going to choose that $500,000 because of the money or go down the path for his education?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's honestly just it could be a mixture of the kids and what situations that they're in and what they think is most important. But just me personally speaking, I just hope that the kids continue to choose what's best for them and what's best for their future. I know that money is hard to say no to, and that could be considered a part of your future too, but I just want these kids to not be corrupt I want them to go where they want to love to play football, I just want it to be all football related. I want it to be where they're going to get the best education, where they're going to love playing football and not be corrupt by something. I mean, it's hard to say corrupt by money because it's a tough deal, because I mean, that much money, it's really hard to say no to. So it's like, I can't blame the kids that make decisions based off of that. But then it's also like I want the kids to be able to make the decisions where it's best for them, best for their family, and where they're gonna enjoy their college experience, because we only get college once, and we only get these 4 to 5 years every. We only get it one time in our life, so it's like I want these kids to have fun and enjoy this stuff, you know.
Mike, do you think, like Seth kind of honed on, kind of if one school offers this amount of money, but this school offers a little less, but they have a better education program, do you think maybe all schools are going to try to teach like a financial literacy class to like help these 17, 18-year-old kids that are coming into college with getting offered millions of dollars? Like, so I saw one that was like a $8 million if he chose a school. Do you think their schools are going to have to teach more with this whole NIL stuff?
I think that they are for sure, and I know that I don't think we don't do it in Arizona, but I think a few schools in Florida actually require a financial class to be taken before you graduate.
That's great.
I was talking to one of my coaches about that. He was telling me about like his son's in high school. I believe it's in Florida. Don't take my word for that, because I'm pretty sure, but not for sure. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a necessity for these kids to understand financials that come with it, because if they're making money like that, they're going to start having to pay taxes as well. So it's like, don't want to get in trouble for all that stuff, tax evasion. But yeah, I've always thought that there should be financial classes offered in high school, and an education background that's can set up kids, because regardless, you're going to have to understand financial situations, regardless of wherever you are. You're going to be working with money. So I feel like that is a necessity that needs to happen for sure.
So Mike, you hinted on earlier, me and you kind of grew up together in the football world. I mean, we played together. I think it was my 8 years old. And
right.
Kind of just as we grew, I mean, it's very known how great of a leader you are, and I saw that too, for you being my quarterback. And we just know that you're such a great leader, and I want you to kind of speak to the younger generation here. How can they become a great leader like you became? Like, you grew up to be a great leader. And right. I just want to see, like, in all aspects of life, not just on the field, like as the fourth string, as the starter, in the classroom, in life, like how do they become that leader like you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that my biggest way of leading was just leading by example, showing kids what the standard was and what the expectation was, and then just working my tail off. I feel like if you guys have watched the Last Dance, Michael Jordan talks on it about how people were criticizing his leadership style and however that is. And as a side note, I mean, if you criticize him, he's the greatest winner of all time. Him and Tom Brady, I consider to be the greatest winners in their respected sports. So someone criticizing his work ethic and how he led obviously doesn't understand the bigger picture, because what he hinted on, he got emotional about it in The Last Dance, is yes, he was a tough leader and he held everyone to a high standard, and it was demanding all the time, but it was the best thing for them. It made them greater together, it made them closer, and sometimes people didn't like him for that, but I just feel like I like him even more because of that, because he was willing to do whatever it took to be that leader, and he knew that if he wasn't going to do it, nobody else was going to do it. But he hinted that he didn't ask any of the guys to do something that he wasn't doing himself. So it was like it's a deal where you get to a point in leadership where you're working with older guys. That's where I am too. I'm working with a bunch of older guys, some guys that are from different parts of the country that just aren't as familiar with me, and I have to establish myself and earn their respect. And it's a big respect thing as a leader too. I mean, just working in the weight room, getting my extra throws in, just always working is my biggest way of leadership. And then understanding when you need to help a kid out or when you need to get on a kid's butt, and encourage them and push them and motivate them as well, because the best teams are led by their players. And I feel like that was what's special about our senior year, is we had a great group of leaders and stuff. Eli and Seth contributed to that as well. But it was just always outworking everyone and just showing them what the standard is, really, is all I got to say. You got to walk the walk, and you got to walk the walk for sure.
And I think something that kind of is getting away from the game of football a little bit is like the ability to be held accountable. And I think a lot of kids are almost like sensitive to the fact, like, if somebody calls him out, it's almost like, oh, he's bullying me, instead of just, oh, he wants me to be great.
Yeah, they're entitled.
I hinted that on in our first episode. I was like, some dudes just take it to tears because they think they're getting bullied or nobody likes him. This coach doesn't like me. And I think that's kind of getting away from the game of football a little bit, like the ability to be held accountable.
Yeah.
So I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean the next generation coming up. I mean that's like a whole nother discussion, but
a whole nother topic.
But like I don't know. I just see the kids that are gonna stand out and separate themselves from the pack, that they aren't entitled. You said the word that they're. I mean, no matter what, adversity is going to come in each sport. Adversity is going to come in life. I mean, nothing in this life is perfect. That's why I feel like football is such a great sport, because it's so fun, and no matter how much you practice, nothing is going to be perfect. It's meant to be meant to have mistakes, but it's also meant to see what your reaction is going to be from those mistakes, and see how tough you really are, and where your mental's at, and how just can you push through. Is this adversity going to make you crumble? And there's some situations in the world that are like that. I mean, the world it's cruel. I mean, it's not just a fairy tale for everyone. So I truly believe that you got to work for everything that you get. Some people that may not be the scenario, but for me, that's how I truly believe it is. And I know for you guys too. I mean, Eli, you're like one of the hardest workers that I've ever met, and Seth, you work your butt off too. But I know for sure, just working with Eli and stuff, and just seeing how he goes about himself, he's a super tremendous hard worker. So it's like it goes back to things like that, where it's either kids understand that, or they think that they're entitled, and then it fades out for a while, because these coaches in college aren't going to be willing to work with them or give them an opportunity, because they just don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, and I think college coaches for sure, like, they kind of like take it upon themselves to say, like, this is my job, like, I need you to perform.
Dude. No,
like,
yeah.
In order to get my bread.
Exactly.
So it's like some kids they came in, like, I know I came into San Diego, and some dude skipped the first day of summer workouts.
Yeah,
and
bro. That guy's
like, as a freshman, like,
that's
you
crazy.
gotta come in and make a name for yourself, and you skip the first day. It's just crazy.
No, yeah, exactly.
And one thing for me that I really like that you touched on, Mikey, was the leadership. I know, especially for myself from experience, and just I know younger athletes going in as a freshman, you don't have that respect like you were talking about. Yeah. You don't have that name. So I've had people talk to me, even myself, that like, how am I going to lead? How am I going to help this team get to where we want to be? And honestly, leading by example is something, doesn't matter where you're at in the depth chart, doesn't matter how respectful you are. If you're doing the right thing all the time, doing the little work, doing the extra stuff, you're going to come and get that respect. That respect will come, and it will play out on the field eventually.
Yeah. 100%. No, for sure.
So, Mike, we kind of hit the nail on the head kind of there with everything. We kind of picked your brains on the football side. Now we kind of want to get to know Mike on the personal level. I mean, we know it, but, I mean, the audience, I don't know if they know for sure. But so me and Mikey are Suns fans, very sad.
Yes, very.
So, Mike, I want to hear your reaction to that Game 7 loss.
Well, I mean, I was watching a movie, okay, because on the East Coast, well, Game 7 was at 8 o'clock this time, but on the East Coast, the 7 o'clock games are at 10 o'clock here, so I never really get to watch basketball, which sucks, so I'm always just seeing the highlights and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll catch the second half. So I was watching a movie, and I check, and the Suns are down by freaking, I think, 27 at half or something, and we have 27 points, and Luka's got 27 points, so I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And we're at home, so I was like, I definitely thought we were gonna smack them, let alone just win the game. And my parents were at the game too, and they were texting me, they were blowing up my phone, and I was like, damn, like, we just got our asses whooped. Yep. And so I was pissed about that, because I don't know. I just felt like being at home in like a Game 7 situation. Like, I see ESPN posting all this stuff, and it's like, what's better in sports than hearing Game 7 in the NBA playoffs? And I'm like, that's so.
Said that. Even
I know, and I'm like, bro, how can you let them come in your place and do that to you? And Luka, I mean, Luka's pretty ridiculous, but it's like, I low-key can't stand Luka because he's kind of a flopper.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He's overhyped, bro. He's a good player. He's a great player.
He's a super good player. But I just from this series, I started to hate him, and I was like, damn. So it's like, him and Pat Bev. I know that fool went off on Chris Paul for nothing.
Oh, I know.
No reason. I was
like, damn, that was unnecessary. But then some people like clap back at Pat Bev, so that was good. But
yeah.
So now that the Suns are out, who's winning the finals?
Oh well, I think, dude, it's got to be the Dubs. The Warriors are gonna take it, and I hate to say it because I'm a LeBron fan. So when they would go like for the 4 years straight that it was like the Cavs and the freaking Warriors in the finals, I was always a freaking LeBron fan, so I was always going for LeBron, and just like seeing them go every single year and do what they did, it was annoying. It was like they were at the point where the Seahawks were for a little bit in the NFL, or even more so like the Patriots, but I mean theirs was kind of different because Tom Brady was just that guy, so. That's a whole different deal, but I gotta go with the Dubs. They just got too much offense. They got too much. I don't know. I'm hoping they play the Heat. Honestly, it'd be nice to see if anyone else got a ring. I'd hope Jimmy Butler would get one, because I feel like Jason Tatum's gonna be a star in this league for a while, so he'll get his own in a little bit. He's still young, but Jimmy's put in his time. So if anyone else were to get a ring, I'd hope it'd be Jimmy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for the Heat, but I mean they just lost that. They just lost their game 6 yesterday.
Yeah,
they or
game 5.
I think it was.
Oh yeah, the third.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was it game 5?
But I know it's kind of sucked with this playoffs because it's like every series has had their blowouts and it's like not really consistent like close games. Like it started off good. Yeah. I thought the Grizzlies were going to beat the Warriors actually if Ja didn't get hurt.
Oh, for sure.
It always seems like the Warriors end somebody's dreams. Like it's almost Chris Paul's dreams get ended every year by the freaking Warriors.
For real.
It's harsh.
I don't know what that full CP3 is going to do next year. I hope he comes back because he's still a dog on the court, but
see, my biggest thing with that is everyone was like, "Oh, Chris Paul, they need to trade Chris Paul." But the series before, in a closeout game, the dude shoots 14 to 14.
Yeah, exactly.
But he has one bad series, and everyone's like, "Oh, trade him."
Like exactly. It's like Chris Paul's still.
It was a bad series, though.
It was a bad series. It was a bad series. After that game 2 win, when he went off at the end of the game, they won by like 25. It was just downhill from there, which sucked, but. Chris Paul's still like a Hall of Fame point guard, and then
for sure.
I've been seeing rumors that everyone's trying to say KD to Phoenix, so I don't know what's going.
KD?
I don't know.
Filled. Like
I have no idea.
That would be crazy.
I have no idea.
Who would we have to trade? DA?
Yeah, probably. I don't know what's going on with that.
Trade DA and probably Cam Johnson or campaign for him, but.
Oh yeah.
I like Cam Johnson though.
I like Cam
Johnson.
That's my mom. That's my mom's favorite player.
Really?
I feel like that's a lot. I feel like that's a lot of females' favorite players.
Yeah,
I don't
know. Like him, Kyle Kuzma, Kelly Oubre, they all like those freaking.
Yeah, they all like them. Man, Kyle Kuzma, man. I can't stand Kyle Kuzma.
That fool Kyle.
Yeah, I can't stand that.
So, Mike,
but anyway,
it's been a crazy offseason in terms of the NFL. We're gonna change gears a little bit here, and we're kind of seeing this might be the craziest offseason that we've ever seen in the NFL. What is your opinion on the Kyler Murray situation and how he's handling himself?
See, I haven't really. That situation's been confusing to me because I've seen him post stuff and then they're back off their standoff stuff. So it's super confusing to me. But I don't know how it deals in the NFL because it gets to a point where the players have to start taking it to a business side as well because they'll just get screwed over if not, and guys need to be paid what they think that they should be paid. But it's I'm looking at that and I'm like, well, how much money are you getting paid right now? And I was like, you really want more than that? But then it's they feel they deserve more money and stuff. But I don't know, just being in a position where he could. The Cardinals are a dangerous team. They're a legit team. They just got Hollywood Brown. So, I don't think that he's going to get his boy from college and then like dip out on him. That'd be kind of messed up. But then they got D-Hop out for the 6 games, unless if he's appealing that deal. But I'm pretty sure that's gonna stand. But the Cardinals are a legit team. I mean, they could be contenders for the Super Bowl every year if they just got their stuff together. I mean, they got a good defense, they got a great offense too. So it's like, if they just get their stuff together,
they get
they're
in
a
up every year and then just crumble.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like if they get their stuff together and start making it to the playoffs and making runs in the playoffs, these guys are going to get experience, and then they're going to be in a position where they can win a Super Bowl after a few years. But this is the crunch time of where Kyler Murray needs to be kind of. I don't know.
Become that leader.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's hard to say because. I mean, if I put myself in his shoes, I don't know if what I would be thinking as well. So it's completely different. And then
because for us, we're thinking like, okay, you're already making like 20 mil, like 15 mil a year.
Yeah.
So why would you want more? Like,
yeah,
you're already making that much. But for them, they're like, shoot, all these other guys you see.
Yeah, exactly.
I see Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady getting paid like
a $230 million
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
What?
So they're like, they think they're just as good as Deshaun Watson, which that's another story. I don't know how people really think he's going to come back and be that guy, but I mean, he hasn't played in what, a year or two.
I know,
and
I love Deshaun. It's just going to be.
I like Deshaun.
It's tough because I don't know. He just he had so much time off, and then that's a lot of.
You haven't seen no workout videos.
That's a lot of emotional freaking stress that he went through, going through like a court case and stuff, but. I don't know. I hope he can come back because he's fun to watch for sure. So,
is there a quarterback that you emulate your game off
of? Probably Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
He's like he's one of my favorite QBs in the league. I usually like the shorter quarterbacks. So yeah, Russ, because he's not like he's a dual threat, but he's not like just a complete like 4-2 running guy like a Lamar or something or like a Kyler Murray, but. He's just a smart quarterback and plays the game well and super smart. So he's like my favorite guy to watch.
Mike, you got
now he's on the Broncos, the AFC. Ooh, the AFC's stacked.
AFC's
stacked.
That division with the quarterbacks.
Do you have any previews on this upcoming season for yourself or for the UCF team?
I just want to win the conference championship, get us a good bowl game. I want to run the table. I don't really have any individual goals. Except just go ball out, do everything that I can to win games. But I just want to win games, man. I just want to win a championship here. I want to, because it'll be our last year in the American Conference. So.
Oh yeah, and then you guys go what?
Oh
Big 12?
yeah.
So I want to have Big 12. So I want to have an opportunity to win a conference championship in 2 different conferences, which would be lit. So I want to win the American this year, and then I want to try and win the Big 12 while I'm still here. So. That's all I really got, man, for goals and stuff.
Well, Mikey, we just have one more question, I think, to really wrap up this podcast and really put a nail on the topic. What's something that you know now that you wish before you got to college, like your senior year, that you wish you knew before you got to your freshman year of college?
Whew.
It's a tough one, I know. It's okay, you think.
I feel like if I could go back and tell myself something, it would be
just one thing.
I don't know, 'cause I've always like gone back and forth with this. I've been like what if I went back and what if I was held back? What if I just graduated from high school right now?
Yeah, because you're young.
Because I'm young, so I'm still I'm younger than most of the kids in high school still. So it's like if I went back and had another year of high school, that would be crazy. Honestly, I feel like my recruiting would have been legit. I'd probably just go back and tell myself to not stress about the little things, man, because I look back and I'm like think about some of the shit that you guys stressed about your freshman year of high school. and think about how dumb it was. Like you were super stressed about that, and sometimes that stress gets to kids and it's really overwhelming, and I don't know, they get into that whole deal where they feel like they can't see a way out, and I just go back and look at it and think to myself that it's not as bad as it really seems. Just don't stress over stuff and just enjoy your time where you're at, and don't try and look ahead too much because you don't get that time back that you're in right now. So, I mean, high school flew by for me. I know it probably flew by for y'all, but especially not being there that
sure.
last semester with you guys. I mean, my high school career was pretty much 3.5 years, and then we had COVID. We had that freaking freshman year. We had the
Red Fred.
the Red Fred, yeah.
Yep.
God, Red
So
Fred.
there was a bunch
Oh
of
my
stuff.
God.
There was a bunch of stuff in high school where I was like, "Oh, bet like we're done with like this year." I was like, "Bet we're done with freshman year. Bet we're done with sophomore year."
Every year.
And I was like, "Wait, man! Like I'm almost out of here. Like this is almost done." So it's like I want to enjoy college and just live in the moment, not look ahead too much, and just have fun. You feel me?
But for Mike,
sure.
for sure, we want to really thank you for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Being
I
our
got
first
y'all.
guest for sure on this podcast.
That's
Let's
lit.
wrap
That's
it up here,
lit.
but Mikey, we really appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all having me, and I love what y'all are doing. Just keep at it, man. I know it's not what y'all want it to be right now, but I feel like you guys just keep it fun and keep it light and just enjoy what you guys are doing with this.
Just have
because
fun
it's-
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because it's pretty cool. I mean, y'all got the mics and stuff that looks legit. And who knows? Maybe one day y'all will be able to get like your own little booth and stuff and talk together.
Yeah,
And,
that's the goal.
bro, because
That's the goal.
podcasts are lit, man. Like I don't know if y'all
They
saw.
are,
I don't know if y'all
especially
saw. It was Logan Paul's with Liver King.
Yes. Yeah.
Freaking Liver King.
I didn't see that one. I've seen his podcast, but not didn't see the
That guy's
King one.
nuts. Liver King
That
is
guy's
crazy. But then like Joe Burrow's on the Nelk Boys podcast, dude. Like podcasts are legit, man, and people love listening to them. So just keep doing this shit because it's pretty cool. But I appreciate y'all having me on for real.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, man.
I like to. Thank you, Mikey. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want you to like, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell below for weekly uploads every Sunday. And that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank y'all.
Yes,
Have a good one.